Let me check with Dinesh Burad if he's joining. He's the only one that we're waiting for.
No, I've already started, so just give me a second. नमो अरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं नमो उवज्जायाणं नमो लोए सवसाहुणम। जय जिनेन्द्र सभी को।
जय जिनेन्द्र।
Vijay.
We are on the Chaturdash Gunasthan. We had already started, and I think we did up to which Gunasthan have we finished?
10.
Oh, we are already done up to 10. Okay.
Yeah.
We finished 9.
Good. Okay. So as I said, ki Gunasthan is the paryay condition of the G. As it progresses its path towards purifying the soul, it explains different मोहनीय कर्म, दर्शन मोहनीय and चारित्र मोहनीय, right? So पहले तो दर्शन मोहनीय जाता है. After 8th गुणस्थान दर्शन मोहनीय भी क्षयिक हो जाता है. And then you keep progressing चारित्र मोहनीय का जैसे जैसे सब प्रकृतियों का क्षय होता है. इसके साथ में और भी कई प्रकृतियां हैं जो कि नहीं बंधती है. There is lot more details which we don't go into this chapter. When we study the कर्म कांड, जैसे उसमें आया था कि गोमत्सार जीव कांड कर्म कांड, तो वहां थोड़े और भी दिए जाते हैं. तो so far we have studied what happens. Of course we know the मिथ्यात्व. Oh, by the way, मिथ्यात्व का जो गुणस्थान है उसमें I just wanted to give it because it is important for us to know कि हम मिथ्यात्व गुण स्थान में क्यों है और किस चीज पे हमें पॉन्डर करना चाहिए कि व्हाट वी वुड नीड टू improve in order to get out of that मिथ्यात्व, राइट? तो उसके दो कारण हैं, ठीक है? एंड दिस इज समथिंग यू कैन नोट डाउन. सो एक तो देयर इज 5 टाइप्स ऑफ मिथ्यात्व, ठीक है? I don't have the English terms yet. I just talked about this in the morning class, which is in Hindi. तो मैं भी आप लोगों को हिंदी words दे देती हूँ and I'll just simply explain. If I cannot come up with the exact English terminology, we'll look up later and give it to you. तो मिथ्यात्व 5 तरह के होते हैं. एकांतिक, that means you focus on one angle. विपरीत, which is you understand things in the opposite way. जो चीज जैसी नहीं है वैसा समझना विपरीत मिथ्यात्व. सांशयिक, मतलब you are doubting something, doubting what is the nature of things. Then अज्ञानिक, you just don't know, so you have the false belief, right? Till now we didn't study the scriptures, so we just didn't know, so we were in mithyatva. And then Vinay. Vinay means Vinay. You're just being respectful to somebody. उसके कारण आप गलत बिलीफ में हो, ठीक है? जैसे आप समझो कोई मुस्लिम की दरगाह में गए और आप आपका कोई बहुत क्लोज फ्रेंड है जो आपको लेके गए. तो नाउ यू मे नॉट necessarily know or believe कि भाई उनको उनका क्या बिलीफ है। पर क्योंकि आपका फ्रेंड आपको लेके गया, आप भी सोचते हो क्या है, मुस्लिम भगवान तो है ही, हम भी ऐसे हाथ करके बैठ जाएं वहां पर। दैट इज कॉल्ड वैनयिक मिथ्यात्व। तो अब वो वहां आपको बता रहे हैं कि मोहम्मद ने दुनिया बनाई, मोहम्मद ने सब किया। आई एम जस्ट, आई डोंट नो व्हाट इट इज, बट आई एम जस्ट फॉर हाइपोथेसिस एग्जांपल दे रही हूँ। और आप सोचो कि ठीक है भाई, ये मेरा दोस्त है, उसको बिलीव करने में क्या खराबी है। Just because you are friends with somebody, you start believing in the wrong thing. That is वैनयिक मिथ्यात्व। तो ये तो 5 types of मिथ्यात्व। अब there are also 5 types के भाव, what you think, जिसके कारण कि आपको मिथ्यात्व रहता है। फर्स्ट वन इज देह में एकत्व बुद्धि। सो me mind association with the body, that is number 1 reason किस भाव से हमें मिथ्यात्व रहता है। सेकंड, विषयों में सुख बुद्धि, सेंसुअल प्लेजर्स गिव यू हैप्पीनेस, ऐसा बिलीव करने से। थर्ड, पर की कर्ता बुद्धि, I can do something for somebody other than myself. Doership of others. That is number
So,
point.
just Brother, you're saying for Agnan Mithyatva, these are the reasons, or
No. वो जो 5 पहले बताए, those are 5
हाँ,
types of मिथ्यात्व। ये
okay.
कौन से 5 तरह के भाव हैं मिथ्यात्व के?
Oh, okay, yeah.
What you are thinking? These are
Okay, can you
separate.
repeat the bhav?
You were supposed to be writing as I was saying.
Yeah, I am, but I missed it. I thought it is Agnan
No.
Mithyatva was.
वो 5 हो गए, ये अब 5 मिथ्यात्व भाव के 5 बिंदु है।
Okay.
Okay? So first was देह में एकत्व बुद्धि,
Mm-hmm.
of yourself with the body. Second one is विषयों में सुख बुद्धि, feel that happiness is coming through the sensual pleasures. Third one is पर की कर्ता बुद्धि, doership of the other. Fourth is पुण्य या शुभ कर्म में धर्म बुद्धि. So thinking that doing meritorious things is the true dharma. Then number 5 is par ki gyata buddhi, just wanting to know everything other than the self. So those are the 5 reasons, why we have mithyata.
Prabhaji, can you repeat the last one, please?
Par ki gyata buddhi. And these are very important notes. You should constantly visit these. And this is a measure for you to know which direction you're going.
And can you explain एकांतिक, please?
हाँ, एकांतिक मतलब जैसे हम कोई भी वस्तु है, उसकी कंप्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं जानना चाहते हैं, which is all the time we know one aspect और हम उसी पे आर्ग्यू करते रहते हैं।
Right.
ठीक है ना? तो उसका जैसे हाथी का एग्जाम्पल दिया जाता है। तो अगर अंधे लोग हैं, आप उनको हाथी के पास ले जाओ और बोलो अब हाथी को एक्सप्लेन करो, तो वो इट्स अ वेरी कॉमन स्टोरी की जो सूंड पे हाथ लगाता है वो सोचता है कि हाथी इज लाइक दैट बिकॉज दैट्स ऑल ही कैन फील।
Right.
बट if somebody who can see sees a हाथी, then वो क्या बोलेगा, उसकी मेन बॉडी दीवार की तरह है। He will be able to tell you what aspect is like a दीवार, या उसका कान पंखे की तरह है, पूरा हाथी पंखे की तरह है नहीं बोलेगा, because he's see the whole picture.
Right.
Then he can speak of one aspect.
So is Ekantik kind of almost like the opposite of Anekantavad in a way?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So you only know one facet and you talk as if that's the complete picture.
Right. Got it.
And we all do that in general conversation. हम judgment pass कर देते हैं, वो तो ऐसा है. अरे भाई आपने उसको 5 मिनट सिर्फ इतने इस circumstance में देखा. How can you know that complete personality of that person? But we still do that.
Right.
So that is an example. तो अभी समझो कि किसी ने पढ़ा कृष्ण शर्मम ममा वटेवर, एक है ना हिंदुओं का स्टेटमेंट कि कृष्ण भगवान से कि मेरी शरण में आ जाओ तो सब हो जाएगा. अब बाकी सब नहीं पढ़ा और सिर्फ वो एक स्टेटमेंट को पढ़ के सोच लिया कि नहीं नहीं हम तो बस उनकी हाथ पैर जोड़ के उनकी मूर्ति के आगे बैठ जाओ, बस हो गया मोक्ष. और बाकी क्या शास्त्र बोलते हैं और क्या इंफॉर्मेशन जरूरी है वो जानने की कोशिश भी नहीं की, तो वो एकांतिक मिथ्या. इसीलिए आपको इस कोर्स में नए न्याय बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स पढ़ाए जाते हैं. बिकॉज अनलेस यू understand all those intricate details, what are different viewpoints, why things are written in different language, different perspectives in each shastra, you may not understand the complete truth. So understanding the complete truth, true nature of things is necessary to remove the mithyatva.
So ekantik is almost like ignorance of the all the facets of reality. But
all of it is ignorance, but ignorant अपने आप को वो समझता नहीं है ना.
हाँ.
वो तो समझता है कि मुझे ये पता है, एक एस्पेक्ट समझ के उसको लगता है सारा पता है.
But आपने एग्जांपल वो अच्छा दिया कि when you let's see we all make judgments about people, तो हम snatch judgment बोलते हैं, किसी को मिलते हैं कि हाँ वो ऐसा ही है वो ऐसी है, right? But we don't know the whole story about that person. So this is ekantik mithyatva, that we are making a judgment based on this much itna sa knowledge, and we don't know the full entirety of that person's life.
But still it is wrong. Ekanta means not the right one. Even see, we have the ekanta mithyatva. It is again, it's ekanta
mithyatva.
Yeah.
Type of a myth. And अभी जैसे कोई कह दे कि जैनिज्म is the best religion in the world. अरे भाई तुमने बाकी रिलीजन पढ़े ही नहीं है. Who are you? How can you do that?
Right.
Versus if somebody has studied all the other religions, then comes to the conclusion that yes, Jain scriptures explain it most accurately, most detailed, most easy to understand, whatever the case may be, then that person is a valid person to pass that judgment.
Correct.
और अगर आपने एक ही चीज पढ़ी है और आप बता दो ये बेस्ट है, who are you to judge that? You don't know others.
Yeah.
So when people study Jainism, they are required to study all other religions. You're required to have a comprehensive study of all religions.
Yes.
And that is the case even, I think, in universities when you take a course in theology or whatever, world religion, whatever the case may be. So, because otherwise you are looking at one religion and saying that is, obviously, जिसमें आप born हुए आपके लिए तो वही best है. Muslim का is best, Hindu कहेगा Hindu is best. तो वो सारा एकांतिक मिथ्यात्व में आ जाएगा.
बाजी, ये आपने बताया पर की कर्ता बुद्धि, इसका थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करेंगे?
पर की कर्ता बुद्धि मतलब I can do something for anybody. और सारे लोग ये सोच के बैठे हैं अपने बच्चों को तो मैं ही बड़ा कर रहा हूँ. और हम बोलते भी हैं अरुण जी ने अपने बच्चों को इतना अच्छा संस्कार दिए, इतना अच्छा बड़ा किया कि दे आर डूइंग वेल, और जो भी केस है, राइट? बट कैन यू रियली? कई बहुत अच्छे लोगों के बच्चे खराब निकल जाते हैं, तब क्या कोई माँ बाप खराब संस्कार देना चाहते हैं अपने बच्चों को? नहीं.
मैंने से sometimes दो बच्चों में से एक खराब होता है और एक अच्छा होता है, तो how do you explain that?
दो बच्चे दोनों को सेम आपने संस्कार दिए कि हैबिट्स एकदम ऑपोजिट होती, सो दैट मीन्स कि आप उनके कर्ता धर्ता नहीं हो, कर नहीं सकते आप उनके लिए कुछ भी. दे आर देयर ओन बीइंग. They come with their own baggage of karmas. They come with their own uday. They come with their own everything, destinies, everything. You are not for anybody.
What's the importance of dreams?
So,
उसी तरह प्रभा जी ये पर की ज्ञाता बुद्धि जो आपने पांचवा बताया,
तो अपने आत्मा के अलावा और चीजों को जानने की बुद्धि, मैं दुनिया घूम लूं, ये कंट्री देख लूं, वो कंट्री देख लूं, ये जो सारी जानने की बुद्धि है, वो भी मिथ्यात्व है। जो भी हम देखते हैं, जो अभी हम जान रहे हैं, इन रियलिटी वी आर सीइंग आवर ओन ज्ञान ओनली। अपने ही ज्ञान को ही देखना है तो भाई घर बैठे ही रह जाओ, आत्मा को ही जान लो, फिर तुम देखिए क्या
No, no.
So,
Can you say this last thing again? You're seeing your own gyan?
yes. So nobody actually sees. So when we see, okay, तो हम, our knowledge faculty is only seeing ज्ञान की ही करंट पर्याय ज्ञान को ही देखती है। ओके, तो जब हम ज्ञान ही देखना है तो हम वहां जा जाके क्यों देख रहे हैं? तो ये करना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है बिकॉज थोड़ी ज्यादा आगे की बात है, बट स्टिल फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम देखते हैं फिजिकल के ताजमहल देखें, ताजमहल के सामने खड़े होके परोक्ष ज्ञान से को होता है, अपने ज्ञान में सब चीजों को जानते हैं। क्योंकि
I know somebody has disturbance. I don't know who it is.
I don't know. I was going to say the same thing. I'm like, there's a lot of disturbance.
Turning green, so I cannot tell. Okay, now it stopped. So maybe किसी के घर में पीछे से कोई बातें कर रहे हैं, कोई बात नहीं। Anyway, तो so what I'm saying is कि देखो, समझो ताजमहल देख रहे हैं, एक तो हम YouTube पे आजकल तो 4D वर्जन, जो भी वर्जन में देखा, अब आप ताजमहल के फिजिकली सामने जाके खड़े हो जाओ, बहुत फर्क दिखेगा? नॉट रियली। तो अब आप जो YouTube पे HD में देखा, वो क्या प्रत्यक्ष देखा? उसको तो हम कह दें नहीं भाई वो तो परोक्ष देख लिया, परोक्ष मतलब थ्रू समबडी एल्स। पर हम फिजिकली ताजमहल के सामने जाके खड़े अपनी इन आंखों से देख, तो उसको हम सॉर्ट ऑफ व्यवहार में बोल देते हैं कि भाई हाँ प्रत्यक्ष देखा, मैं सच में आईफल टावर के सामने जाके खड़ी हो गई और उसको देखा, मैंने एक्सपीरियंस किया। बट इन रियलिटी वो भी परोक्ष ज्ञान है।
Even scientifically, we do not really see that. We only see the reflection, the light there.
In our, yes.
So similarly, exactly like a mirror. I mean, mirror can only see itself.
True. That is the way it is.
But the physical structure is there though, right? It's not like it's not there.
Yes, it's there. It's there. See, that is why व्यवहार में बताने के लिए, डिफरेंशिएट करने के लिए हम बोल देते हैं, उसको बोलते हैं सांप्रदायिक प्रत्यक्ष। मतलब भाई कि नहीं, because of this body, physically I could touch it, I could experience the noise around it, whatever the case may be. Okay, so okay.
Prabhaji, from that perspective, any study of any type, let's say science, engineering, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Counting, all that is par ki gyata buddhi then, right?
Yes, बिल्कुल। तो और जस्ट रिमेम्बर, हाँ, क्योंकि द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विल बी, तो फिर ठीक है, फिर हम पढ़ें कि नहीं पढ़ें? पढ़ना पड़ेगा क्योंकि आपके पास राग है अभी तक। जब तक राग है तब तक आपको शरीर चलाना पड़ेगा, शरीर चलाना पड़ेगा, परिवार चलाना पड़ेगा, परिवार चलाने के लिए पैसे कमाने पड़ेंगे, पैसे कमाने के लिए पढ़ना पड़ेगा, जॉब लेना पड़ेगा. So all that falls in place, but that doesn't make it required or right to do. Okay. So, okay. Chalo. So let's now move on to the Gunsthan, right? So इसीलिए तो जब सम्यक दर्शन हो जाता है, when person understands the true nature of things and feel the strong conviction, that is when he is able to experience his soul. And once he experiences soul, then अब वो प्रत्यक्ष उनको समझ में आ गया कि experiencing soul के experience की जो bliss है वो sensual pleasures की happiness से कितनी अलग है. Then that person feels like following the path that Vitragi Bhagwan followed to be able to accomplish the moksha. ठीक है. और इसी के पुरुषार्थ की ये ग्रेडेशन स्टेप्स जो भी बोलो हैं गुणस्थान, राइट. तो अब हम 11th उपशांत कषाय में चलते हैं. चलिए, तो who wants to read? Bahubali ji, you want to start?
Did we go that far last time?
No,
We
10th,
have to do
read the
number
10th.
10. We have to do number 10.
Okay, so let's go number 10. Yeah, sorry, because the morning
She got a haze, so it has
getting where we stop. So
Which number? 10th?
Yeah.
Tenth.
Sukshma samparya.
Number 10.
Sukshma Samparya.
Yeah. Minute subtle passions,
Mhm.
Sukshma Samparaya, whose dispositions have attained a state of subtle passions, that is, they experience the subtle greed, Sukshma Lobha Kashaya, arising without deliberation, Abhuddhi Purva.
Mhm.
And along with that, those who throughout the entire Atmanubhuti, Anta Muhurta, I'll repeat again. And along with that, those who throughout the entire Anta Muhurta, at every single moment, have only one disposition, Parinama, bearing infinite fold purity, Ananta Guni Vishuddhi, and in whom the subsidence, Upashamana, and destruction, Kshapana, of karmic categories continues incessantly. That stage of theirs is designated as Sukshma Samparaya.
Okay, so let's understand that a little bit. So 10th गुणस्थान उसमें लोभ, so कषाय में क्रोध मान माया लोभ, right? So lobe is what? Greed. Greed kashai goes the last. So all the way till 10th Gunsthan, there is uday of greed kashai. Now, let me explain. That doesn't mean that a person who is in meditation and going up this ladder of Gunsthan is actually greedy about something. Okay. What happens is, for example, हम कर्म से क्या होता है? कर्म से हमें संयोग मिलते हैं, ठीक है? संयोगवश क्रोध भी आता है, ठीक है? Now, two things that can go on. One is you got angry, you got involved with the anger, right? The whole of you got spread in that anger. So now you became the angry man. Second option is एंगर तो आया बिकॉज आपके पूर्व कर्म वो आपने बधाई 4 भव पहले बांधे थे, उसके कारण आपका उदय आया, क्रोध कषाय हुई, आपने जबरदस्ती नहीं लाए, न कर्म जबरदस्ती उसको लेके आए, वो हुई. तो द सेकेंड पर्सन कुड बी जस्ट द ऑब्जर्वर ऑफ दैट एंगर, क्योंकि वो तो जो उदय में आना है वो तो आएगा ही, नहीं तो वो कर्म निकलेंगे कैसे? They have to come to fruition. But if you don't associate with that angry man, you are just the observer of it, then you can see that kashai come into fruition and let it go. And that is what happens in the 10th Gunsthan. It's not like एक्चुअली वो कोई चीज का ग्रीड कर रहे हैं, पर वो ग्रीड कषाय का उदय होता है, एंड इन दैट टाइम इफ द जीव इज एबल टू बी जस्ट द ऑब्जर्वर, तो वो उदय में आके खत्म निखिर के निकल जाता है.
So you just mentioned that it could not be greed of, like, just say, oh, I want that clothes or anything. But the greed could be, what could it be? Like, could it be related to your own body?
To moksha.
कि मैं कितनी जल्दी, like,
Greed for moksha. Yeah.
right? तो अगर वो ऑब्जर्वर ही रह जाता है, तो वो कर्म उदय में आता है, खिर जाता है, एंड दे जंप टू 12th गुणस्थान, then they don't go to 11th. अगर अटक जाए उसमें, even for a fraction of a second, भूल से, because obviously that's a भूल, they don't want to do it, then they can fall back down.
And fall back down to any level or fifth, sixth, fourth, fifth?
Yeah, it depends. Yeah.
We should.
Can it
Not
is
below 4th.
There's that chart with
9,
Bahubali.
9, 11, 12, 4.
Yeah.
I have a chart.
Yeah.
Right, you showed it last time. Yeah.
Here's the chart, right? Once they cross 8th, now the samyaktva is not going anywhere, which means the worst they can go down to is the 4th.
But from 4th they can go down.
No, not if it's shaik.
Okay, yeah.
So once they are in 8th,
Yeah, upsham they can go, but not shay.
now it's shaik samyattva. तो samyattva अब नहीं छूटेगा. Okay? But even that is like a big punishment. 10th से सीधा तुम 4th में आ गए. और by chance उस time अगर मर गए, then done. Then you are going to Swarg for a long time. Otherwise, you can jump right back up. Actually go back. Okay. So, chalo. So,
Okay, next one is
let's
11.
11. निधि जी आप पढ़ेंगे? उपशांत कषाय.
Subsidence of deluding karma, Upshant Kashaya, that spiritual stage in which the passions of the soul in their substantial dravya and modal bhav forms remain pacified, like turbid water becoming
Clear?
I think we lost.
You got froze, I think, the internet.
Your internet is messed up. Okay. Okay, let somebody else read then. When she comes back, she can read something else.
vitrasta,
Oh,
but
there you-
along with sense of knowledge and perception obscuring karmas, it is called Upshant Kashaya Vitrak Sadmastha. Clarification regarding Upshant Kashaya Vitrak Sadmastha. Upshant Kashaya is equal to suppressed passion. Vitrak, currently free from all attachment. Chadma, one who abides in partial knowledge and perception due to the presence of Jnana Varna and Darshana Varna karma. Her is equal to one who remains or abides. In a sense, this refers to one who, while still possessing the knowledge obscuring and perception obscuring karmas, abides in a fully detached state with all passions suppressed. In the preceding Gunsthan, due to the gradation of passions, the distinctions of dispositions, parinam bhed, was perceptible. But from this stage onwards, including this one, because of the attainment of detached disposition, such distinctions of states are no longer perceptible. Here, of the four destructive dhati karmas, the deluding mohaniya karma is suppressed, upsham, while the other three karmas remain in the state of suppression cum destruction, chayopasham. When the duration of this gunsthan comes to an end, or when the span of life is completed, the soul falls from this state.
Okay. So this is a special state. Basically, what it is jo, okay, who will tell me the names of 4 Gati karmas?
Uksham.
Mohaniya,
How do, so,
Antaray.
what did you ask?
Ghati.
Baal both ka question. 4 Gati karmas.
Gnanvarni,
Oh.
Gnanvarni karma,
Jnanavarni,
Darshanvarni,
yeah, Darshanavarni.
Moni, Antaray.
Antaray.
Okay. तो अब so we talked about कि ज्यादातर ये गुणस्थान का खेल किसका है? मोहनीय का. चारित्र
Moni.
मोहनीय.
Correct.
Right. Darshan मोहनीय, we already said that the fact that the person has come this far, already वो क्षय हो गया. So the worst it can go back is 4th. But चारित्र मोहनीय का अभी अगर क्षय करते हुए नहीं चढ़ रहा है वो, he is only suppressing it. Only then he will go to this 11th one. If he was destroying and climbing up, then he would jump from 10th to 12th. But if he is suppressing and going up, then he will come to 11th. So that's what they've talked about कि मोहनीय का उपशम होता है और बाकी that is ज्ञानावर्णीय, दर्शनावर्णीय and अंतराय का क्षय उपशम होता है. मतलब सम प्रकृतियों का क्षय, सम का उपशम होता है. So again, this is a gunsthan where they can again fall down from. So that's the difference. That's why it's called Upshant Kashaya, because some of those are suppressed, not destroyed yet. Chalo, ab Kshin Kashaya.
Shall I read, ma'am?
Go ahead.
12th, destruction of deluding karma. Kshanik Akshaya. Kshanik Akshaya. The soul being in whom.
Kirna Kashaya.
Oh, I was like, what is reading? Okay. It's Kshin Kashaya. Okay, yeah.
Kashaya. The soul, a jeev in whom there is complete destruction of all the passionate dispositions, and who thereby become completely pure, like clear water placed in a flawless crystal vessel, because of the total absence of both substantial, dravya, and modal bhav forms of the deluding moha karma. Being thus wholly endowed with detachment, vitrasta, and uniform in nature, that gunsthan of theirs is designated as the stage of destroyed passion, Sheen Kashaya. Its duration too is in antar mode, since, since it is associated with complete detachment, vitrasa, but along with persistence of knowledge and perception of curing karmas. It is called Sheen Kashaya Vitrak Dharma. The monk, Niraj, established in this Gunsthan, who upholds perfect conduct, Yatha Hyat Charitra, experiences the utmost destruction share of the Mohaniya deluding karma, while the other 3 destructive Khati karmas remain in the state of suppression come destruction, Shayopasham. Within an antarmood, he destroys even those and attains the 13th Gunsthan.
Now make sure, remember that antarmurt is always that within 48 minutes. Now बाकी सब में तो वो within 48 minutes करते 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 they can come down, up, all this. But from 12th you don't go down. In 12th, now you have destroyed all the charitra monia karma. So now no more kashaya is left. And also ज्ञानावर्णी और वो सब भी बहुत within like few seconds everything is clairvoyance and they jump to 13th Gunsthan. और तो जो 3 घाती which is again ज्ञानावर्णीय, दर्शनावर्णीय and अंतराय, उसका भी तीनों का क्षयोपशम रहता है. मतलब it's not completely gone but mostly gone. And in the 13th Gunsthan, even that is completely gone. And 13th Gunsthan is when you are called Kevali, just Keval Gyan, complete knowledge.
And Auntie, in the last class, I think you had said we were using Mahavir Swami for example. So he was basically fluctuating between 6th and 7th Gunastan for 12 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to 13, right? Like one less than one Antar Muhurat through each of those ones. And he kind of, so within a span of, let's say, a few hours, he
No,
would
not
have
2 hours. It's within a span of less than 48 minutes. Within
no,
40.
but each one of those is one Antar Muhurat or less than
No,
one.
No. Okay. Each one of those maximum time is like it has to be under 48 minutes, right?
Right.
About 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 5, 7. Now, jab 8th, 9th, 10th, agar if you go to 13th, that whole process has to be within 48 minutes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Otherwise, you stop somewhere and wahan atak gaye, then you fall. So you have to be continuously going up. Only then you reach the 13th Gunsthan.
So that 48 minutes is the most incredible 48 minutes in all of the universe and all of history. I mean, that going from that 6, 7 to 13, I mean, nothing that's comparable to that.
Samayik ka kal. That's why Samayik ka kal is 48 minutes.
Right.
And that is the true Samayik, is to be with your soul. तो वो ट्रू सामायिक जब उनकी हो जाती है पूरे 48 मिनट्स में सोल में रह गए तो वो केवल ज्ञान हो So, okay, Dipali, you read the 13 number, Sayog Kevali.
Sure. Omniscience with mind, body, and speech. Sayog Kevali Jin. The beings in whom the darkness of ignorance have entirely destroyed by the rays of the sun of omniscience, Keval Gyan, and who have manifested the 9 perfect attainments, Keval Labdhi, namely pure right faith, Shaik Samyaktva, conduct, Charitra, knowledge, Gyan, perception, Darshan, charity, Dan, gain, Labh, enjoyment, Bhog, consumption, upabhog, and energy, virya, are called the supreme beings, Paramatma. As they are endowed with unobstructed knowledge and perception, independent of the senses and external light, they are termed omniscience, Kevli. Because they still possess vibratory activity of mind, speech, and body, yoga, they are called with activity, sayog. And having conquered both the destructive karmas, ghati karma in terms of substance, dravya, and mode bhava, they are called conquerors, jina. The stage characterized by these attributes is known as the stage of the omniscient conqueror with activity. Sayog Kevli Jin Gunastan. It is these omniscient lords, Kevli Bhagwan, who, through their divine preaching, Divyadhwani, illuminate the world by teaching the path of liberation, Moksha Marg, to the spiritually inclined beings, Bhavya Jeev. In this spiritual stage, Gunastan, because of this existing of vibratory activity, yoga, there is influx, asrava, of pleasant feeling production karma, Sat Vedaniya karma for just Sata Vedaniya karma for just one samay. However, as there is complete absence of passions, kashai, there is no bondage of karma.
Okay. So now 4 Aghati is still existing. Aghati kaun se hain 4?
Agati is
Nama Gotra.
Ram,
Ayu
Gotra,
karma, Gotra karma,
Ayu.
Vedaniya karma.
and Vedaniya karma.
Vedaniya. So, right, those have everything to do with the body. And since Kevli in Terava Gunsthan still have the body, those karmas are still there. And because they have motion, because they have vibration of the soul, the speech vibration, Divi Dhwani jo nikalti hai, there is some asra. Asrav means coming of the
Influx.
uh, karma particles in the space, but because there is no kashai, rag, dvesh existing, it cannot be, there cannot be any bondage.
Hmm.
Right now, why do we have bondage? Because we have rag, dvesh.
Hmm. Right.
So, तो अब जो बाकी के बचे हुए हैं घाती अघाती सॉरी, वो जो लाइफ स्पैन बची है उसमें वो सब खत्म हो जाएंगे बिफोर ही लीव्स द बॉडी. नाउ यू वुड आस्क कि ये भाई ज्ञान दर्शन चारित्र तो समझ में आ गया, व्हाट इज दिस दान लाभ भोग उपभोग और वीर्य? दैट हैज टू डू विद द आत्मा की कैपेबिलिटी फुलेस्ट एक्सटेंट फुलेस्ट प्रकट हो जाती है. वीर्य मीन्स स्ट्रेंथ. Upabhog means it's able to experience its own soul. It's एक समय की पर्याय as well as the द्रव्य. So भोग और उपभोग दोनों. लाभ, it's able to get the benefit of its soul's natural abilities. And दान is जब वो दिव्य ध्वनि खिरती है तो वो ultimate दान दुनिया को जा रहा है. So that is how all these things come into fruition in the 13th Gunsthan. And they will be in the 13th Gunsthan for whatever lifespan is left.
Hmm.
So now the Ayogi Kevali. Yes, Viraj, do you want to read the 14th
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. Omniscience without mind, body, and speech. Ayog, Avyog Kevli Jin. In this stage, the Arhant Bhagwan, omniscient Lord, is devoid of activities of mind, speech, and body, yet remains endowed with omniscience, Keval Gnan. Therefore, this stage is designated as the stage of omniscient conqueror without activity, Ayog Kevli Jin Gunastan. The duration of this stage is equal to the time taken to pronounce the 5 short vowels, A, I, U, R,
Ru.
Lur. In the final two samai of this stage, by destroying all the remaining subtypes of non-destructive karmas, agati karma, the Lord attains the state of liberation, siddhatva.
But this is a very short-lived Gunsthan. Basically, just that by the time you could speak those 5 vowels, then ठीक है ना? Okay. Somebody, Ashwini was there, and then yeah,
Who?
some Ashwini name popped up. I know Dinesh Burad. Did he forget? Does somebody want to call Dinesh Burarji? Unless he was trying to join from some Ashwini laptop, I don't know. I mean, if it's a label, I understand, but otherwise, just curious if multiple people have our link. Must be Dinesh Burarji. Can someone call him? Okay. Anyway, Arunji, do you want to read the final Siddha Parmeshti one? Or did you already read this time?
No, I can read, definitely. Perfected one who is supremely worshipful, Siddha Parameshti. Those souls who have transcended the 14 stages of spiritual development, Gunasthan, thereby reaching a state beyond the worldly condition, worldly existence, sansara, and have become free from all 8 types of karmas, such as knowledge obscuring, Gyan Vardiya, and others, in both their substantial, dravya, or modal bhav forms, are known as liberated beings, that is, siddhas. They experience an unperturbed infinite bliss, Ananta Sukh, that is self-dependent and uninterrupted. Being devoid of material karma, dravya karma, psychical karma, bhav karma, and quasi karma, no karma, they are absolutely pure Niranjan. Having attained this state of liberation, Siddhaparaya, they do not assume any further state of existence and hence are eternal, Nitya. with the destruction of all 8 karmas in both substantial and modal forms, they have realized the 8 supreme attributes: pure right faith, Shaik Samyak, infinite knowledge, Ananta Gyan, infinite perception, Ananta Darshan, infinite energy, Ananta Virya, infinitesimally melody, Sukshmat, penetrability, uh, Avagahanat, neither heaviness nor lightness, Aguru, Aguru Lagutva, and unobstructability, uh, Avidivit, uh,
Yeah, Bhagatva. Okay.
yeah.
Case they're giving you the English words before the Hindi ones, just a point to be noted.
Sorry?
So, okay, at least the last 4 I noticed that the Sukshmatva and Avgahanatva, they had the English explanations before giving the Hindi ones. Or is that the way, all the way? I don't know. Okay. So those are the characteristics of the pure soul. So-
Should this is this incorrect? Should it be impenetrability, not penetrability?
Sukshmat
Avagahanatva.
Avgahanatva, Avgahan actually means taking the space.
Taking what?
Give
Space.
space to
Tell me
Vagahan is
why they're saying it penetrability. Or is penetrability something to do with Sukshmatva? That's why I was saying that notice if the English one explanation is before the Hindi word or after.
No, it's the English is first. Because infinite energy, Ananta Virya, then infinitesimality, Sukshmatva.
Yeah, so that I will have to look at it. Avgahanatva means basically occupying the space. So I'm not sure if penetrability is a appropriate word.
I think in the same space as the Siddha, other Siddhas can be there. That's why they penetrate.
They take the space, but they give other space in the same space.
Yeah.
So, Amitji, would you write a note to Avarshaji? Just to give her the page number, line number, and that we need to discuss this penetrability word in the meeting, whether it's the best word to be used there.
Okay.
I'll find the Guru Lagutva and Avyabhagatatva. So there's no obstruction, there's no heavy or light, there's no like weight in there. So yeah. So basically, once you are Siddha, you are beyond the Gunsthan. Gunsthanatith banna hai. We don't need to get stuck in any of the Gunsthan. We want to be beyond all this.
Why have they done 214, like 14 Gunastan? What do you mean it's not?
So there's 114. And then the last one is no Gunstan. It's Siddha Parmeshti.
Oh, that's just beyond all the Gunastan. So 14 ke baad mein fir, okay.
So major one is 13. Like we already discussed last time, Burarji sent that thing, how long you can stay in each of the Gunstan. There's only few that you can actually stay with it, more than 48 minutes. And then, of course, Siddha Parmeshti is forever. And then, yeah, basically, this is a Karnanu Yoga topic because it describes what karmas are getting eradicated or subdued in each of the Gunstan.
I think there is a last bullet point. Did you read that?
Yeah, no, we haven't read that.
What bullet point is left? Okay.
Yeah, we haven't read it completely. So I'm just going to continue.
Oh, because I interrupted with this. Okay.
No, yeah, no problem. As there remains no activity to be performed in relation to soul, Atma, they are said to have accomplished all that was to be accomplished. Pratyarkya. And since their inherent nature does not include movement downward or sideways, only the natural tendency to rise upward to the summit of the universe, They abide at the uppermost region of the Loka, known as Lokagribhag. Such beings are called as the perfected ones, who is supremely worshipful, Siddha Parameshti.
So that just happens naturally because there is no weight in this soul. It's just like helium balloon, without that weight, it goes up. Same thing happens with the soul and reaches the highest level of the universe wherever it can go, and beyond that, there's nothing specific. But okay, so that is a physical description, but really going to moksha is not like trying to reach through that agrabhag of lok. Moksha is just the pure state of soul. It doesn't matter where it is. Physical condition, physical place really doesn't matter. It just happens to be where it goes. That's all. So I know a lot of people associate moksha as, वो वहाँ सिद्ध शिला में चले जाएंगे, and mandir may be to represent, when we do or take kids to the temple, we make the satya and then this half moon with the dot to represent the siddha shila, to represent that I want to go away from these four gatis into the pancham gati. So I don't know if any one of you have done that in the temple or taught your kids to do that.
I think the Prabhuji point you made is like not just going there is important, it's purity, correct? Because just going there is because there also Nigoda Jiva also exists there.
Yes, true. Yeah. I mean, even though we don't kind of think of that when we are making the Satya and the Pancham Gati and Siddhashila and all that. But yes, that
Sorry,
is
where did you say Nigod
In
Jeev
Siddha-
also
Siddha-
exists?
Siddhashila.
Siddhashila.
Nigod exists in Siddhashil?
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. How is that?
I mean, because physical space doesn't mean anything. Nigod can exist anywhere. Narak, Swarg, everywhere.
Do
But
they
then
get
why
any
would they
benefit?
be?
Do they get any advantage or benefit of being in Siddhashila?
No, not at all.
Come on, living in White House has its own perks.
White House. उसको कोई advantage नहीं मिलता है White House रहने का.
So then, like, are there also humans in Siddhashil?
No.
Oh,
No.
But how come Nigod can be there and humans can't, or animals and Naraki beings?
no, no.
Nigod is everywhere there. Karna says Nigod is everywhere.
Because it's so small.
Oh, so Nigod is kind of like dark energy or dark matter. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
That's why they can't find them,
So it's Jeev, which can further transform into 1 sense, 2 sense, whatever. Yeah.
We have Dinesh here.
Yeah, he's somewhere in the dark room, so it's okay.
Hi, sorry, I'm just multitasking, but I will just listen in today. I'm
Okay.
outside.
He is in that dark space with Nigod.
We were just talking about the dark space, and there's energy in the dark space. All
No,
right.
but Siddhashila should only have someone who's achieved 14 Gunsthan, right? So why would
The nature, we're learning about it. So we don't decide what should or shouldn't happen, neither does Bhagwan. Even Kevli doesn't decide that.
Okay, so it is what it is.
It is, yes.
So that's why the reaching the Siddhasila is not the goal. Attaining moksha. The
That's
purity
why,
is.
so we talk about it,
Yeah.
it's a representation, but really it's not. You're accomplishing this pure state of yourself, not really worrying about where it goes or what, Okay. So should we move on to the 8th chapter, Tirthankar Bhagwan Maharaj? And since he's the last one of the Tirthankars that went to that Siddhashila, that let's study about him, let's read about him. Okay, chalo. Amit ji, you want to start?
Lesson 8, Tirthankar Bhagwan Mahavir. Tirthankar Bhagwan Mahavir was the 24th and final Tirthankar of the Bharat in this age. Before him, there were 23 other Tirthankaras, including Rishabdev. The Lord Bhagwan are infinite, yet in one era and in the Bharat region, there are only 24 Tirthankars, ford makers. Every Tirthankar is indeed a Bhagwan by rule, but not every Bhagwan is Tirthankar. One can be a Bhagwan even without being a Tirthankar. Every soul, Atma, can become a Bhagwan. That by which the ocean of worldly existence, Sansar Sagar, is crossed is called a Tirth, ford. And those who create such a ford, that is, who themselves cross the ocean of worldly existence and also show the path of crossing, are called Tirthankaras. The principles propounded by Lord Mahavir are as profound.
Amit, you read Tirthankaras. Is there a line on top of RA?
Because there was an S, no, Tirthankars. Sorry, Tirthankars.
Yeah, we
No,
have to
I
read
read it incorrectly.
Okay, no problem. So let's go.
The principles propounded by Lord Mahavir are as profound, grave, and graspable as his life is plain, simple, and straightforward. In it, there is no place for diversities. In brief, the story of his life is only this much. In the first 30 years, he remained like a lotus untouched by water amidst wealth and luxury. In the 12 years in between, he dwelt in forest, absorbed in solitary self-worship, in pursuit of the supreme spiritual fulfillment. And in the final 30 years, he engaged in the initiation, preaching, and spread of the universal thought of righteousness for the welfare of all living beings. The life of Mahavir is not event laden. To search for his personality in events is futile. What worldly experiences left that had not already occurred to him in his countless past lives? Mahavir was born in Kundagram to Queen Trishala and King Siddharth, a prominent statesman of the Vasali Republic. King Siddharth's mother was the daughter of King Chetaka, the president of the Vaisali Republic. Mahavir was born 2571 years ago on the 13th day of the bright half of Chaitra Shukra Trayodasi, in a Kshatriya family of the Nath Gnatra lineage. His parents named him Vardhaman because they saw him growing and flourishing continuously. The celebration of his birth was held with great enthusiasm not only by his parents and relatives but also by the Indras and the gods, since he was to be a future Tirthankar. This grand celebration is called the auspicious festival of birth, Janma Kalyanak Mahotsav. Indra seated him upon the Airavat elephant and performed his birth ablution in splendor, a detailed description of which is found in the Jain Puranas. The indication of his becoming a Tirthankar was known even before he entered the womb. One night in the last quarter, his beloved mother, Trishala, while in a calm and peaceful sleep, saw the following 16 dreams, which were auspicious signs of great fortune. The first one, the mighty, majestic elephant. The second one, the white bull with elevated shoulders. The third, the roaring lion. Fourth, Lakshmi seated on a lotus throne. Fifth, two fragrant garlands. Sixth, the moon seated in a gathering of stars. Seventh, the rising sun. Eighth, two golden urns covered with lotus petals. Ninth, pairs of playful fish in a water body. 10th, a water body filled with clear water. 11th, the sea making deep sounds. 12th, a throne adorned with jewels. 13th, a divine airplane illuminated by gems. 14th, the vast sky touching palace of Dharanendra. 15th, a heap of jewels. And 16th, smoke free fire.
Okay.
Now,
One second, let's just
okay,
quickly. So भगवान का जो जन्म है वो, so all these dreams, and again, nobody decides or makes things happen. This is just a natural phenomena कि
So
every Tirthankar's mother sees these dreams before conceiving the baby, and which gives the indication
Amen.
there is a Tirthankar going to be born. I don't know if any of you have attended any Panchakalyana or Pratishtha Mahotsav in India, and of I was it our last trip or the one like a year ago. We went to Jabalpur for the Pratishtha, and they had done these. Nowadays with all this animation AI, they do such a beautiful depiction of these dreams. Or in the past, before they could do AI and all these things on the screen, they would have teenagers or kids come up with the big sign of the dream, and they would have dances on each of those things and like that.
And
So
before we go on, can I just ask, Shwetambar is 14 and Digambar is 16 dreams? Is
yeah,
that the
just Shastra mein farak hai, and honestly, I don't know which one is correct, but these are some of those things where the differences don't matter to us. It's not
do,
related to soul, so we don't care.
do you recall though which ones of the 16 are not in Shwetambar?
I used to know, I couldn't tell you for sure right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Another question I have is
Okay.
like these dreams, whether 14 or 16, did they come over continuous period of time, or how many months did it take between the dreams? Like how
Oh,
did that work?
one night.
All 16 in one night.
Yes.
And then
They
this
come
comes for every Tirthankar, right? All the 24 Tirthankar's
all the
mother had the same dream.
other had the same dreams. Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Because they're
thank
explaining the kind of baby it's gonna come.
you. Okay.
So then the mother has the dream, she tells her husband, the husband asks there used to be specialist of dream, uh क्या बोलते हैं उसको, स्वप्न explanation, specialist, and then they would explain what these dreams
And
are.
why is it so important for us to know these
Not a big
dreams?
deal. It's just um so these are facts that are recorded in the Shastras. And okay, see, one could decide, okay, fine, these are no use to us, so forget about it. We're not going to worry about those. But the reason people celebrate and do all this is we are all Ragi people. We want to get that wow factor with what we can relate. So अगर जैन धर्म में आपको सिर्फ सोल की बात करें, मेडिटेशन में बैठ जाओ, it feels very cold, right? Versus when you hear that, wow, the Tirthankars had all this wealth and comfort and this and that, and yet they were able to give up and take diksha and go into meditation. That has a little more weightage. Not that it should have, but because that is our bad mentality in today's age. कि हमको लगता है कि कोई गरीब ने दीक्षा ले ली तो बेचारे के पास तो वैसे ही कुछ नहीं था, तो क्या हो गया, उसने दीक्षा ले ली, राइट? आज भी अगर कोई जयपुर का ज्वेलर leaves crores of sampatti and takes diksha, it's a big deal. and some poor guy who is nobody takes Diksha, nobody cares. There's no, like, news about it. So, I mean, these are true facts. So they're brought about to let people know. Well, number one, it's also with the Tirthankar Nam Karma. They have all this grandeur and whatever happens to them. It's not their icha, but it came with their Nam Karma. That all these स्वर्ग के लोग also come to worship them, and वो उनको लेके जाते हैं पहाड़ पे और नहलाते हैं and all those things. So those are facts that one can know, but they don't have to be impressed by those facts. In fact, we will learn about that in this last chapter of this book. They called the Devagam Stotra, which is the next chapter after this. That, oh Lord, I don't worship you because you were so rich, or I don't worship you because somebody bathed you on the mountain top, or I don't worship you because you looked so beautiful, or I don't worship you because you had the Samavsaran. So I worship you because of the pure soul you are. So it's kind of like that's what this Devagam Stotra is going to come about, like that what you should be impressed by and what you should not be impressed by.
Prabhuji, what is this? A divine airplane?
Yeah, there is a divine airplane, basically, just like Ram Bhagwan came from the Vanvas in an airplane. We thought airplanes were discovered recently in the 60s. No, they had them back then too.
And they even call it Vimana, right? That's the
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, even Ram came in an airplane that long distance he could cover in a day or whatever it was called. So yeah, all these things existed back then too. And that's why we call it research. These are not, they existed, we're just researching it. Okay, never mind. So if I can, yeah, I'd always thought about that I should find out that video. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere of this 16 or dreams, and there's a little explanation of each dream, which is pretty cool, I think.
Is it from Jabalpur, you said?
Yeah, maybe if you look up on YouTube, Jabalpur Pratishtha, I think it was last January or February. Yeah, you might even be able to find it on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, Dinesh, read the next part. I'm not asking Burarji because I thought he was only listening. I mean, if you want to read, you're welcome to, but
No, I cannot because I'm just listening. I don't have any other thing.
yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to read it?
Yeah.
After completing her morning duties, Mother Trishula narrated those dreams to King Siddhartha and wished to know their meaning. On hearing this, King Siddhartha, well versed in the science of omens, Nimit Shastra, was filled with joy. Even before his words, his radiant and delighted face had already revealed the auspicious interpretation of the auspicious dreams. He explained that from her womb would be born a highly fortunate child, the future Tirthankar, the initiator of the ford of religion, Dharma Tirtha, who would govern the hearts of the three worlds. He declared, "Today your womb has become as blessed as that of Marudevi when she bore the embryo of the first Tirthankar, Rishabdev, Adinath. Overall, these dreams indicate that your son will be soft as flowers, cool as the moon, radiant like the sun, a destroyer of the darkness of ignorance, Adnyan, strong as an elephant, industrious as a bull, profound like the ocean, pure like a multitude of jewels, and shining like a flame without any smoke." On the sixth day of the bright half of Ashadha, the child Vardhaman entered his mother's womb. From birth itself, child Vardhaman was endowed with health, beauty, and an attractive personality. Growing like the waxing moon of the second day, he began to justify the meaning of his name Vardhaman. His golden-hued body shone with such radiance that it charmed all. It is said that Lord Indra, the king of the gods, created 1,000 eyes in order to behold his beauty to the fullest. He was a self-knowing Atmadhyani, thoughtful, discerning, and fearless child. He had never learned what it meant to be afraid. He was the very embodiment of courage. Hence, from childhood itself, he came to be called Veer and Ativeer. His 5 well-known names are Veer, Ativeer, Sanmati, Vardhaman, and Mahavir. He was endowed with a ready wit, Pratyutpanmati, and did not lose his balance even in adversity. One day, child Vardhaman, who delighted his parents, relatives, and elders with his innocent plays, was playing with other princes in the royal garden. In the course of play, Vardhaman too climbed up a tree along with the other boys. Just then, a fierce black serpent came and coiled itself around the tree, hissing in anger with a force that could terrify even the brave. Finding themselves in such a perilous situation, the other boys began to tremble with fear. But the steadfast and courageous Vardhaman was not disturbed by the dreadful serpent king. Seeing Mahavir approach it fearlessly and without hesitation, the serpent lost its pride and quietly went its own way. In the same way, once an elephant became frenzied with intoxication and, breaking the post of the elephant's stall, began to create havoc in the city. The entire city was thrown into commotion. All the people, panic stricken, fled here and there, but Prince Vardhaman did not lose his composure. With strength and skill, he soon brought the mighty elephant under control. The valor and courage of Prince Vardhaman then became the talk of the entire city. He was a prince endowed with brilliance. He would resolve great problems in but a moment. Though by nature serene, upon entering youth his gravity deepened still further. He became extremely fond of solitude, absorbed continually in contemplation, and engaged in profound discussions on fundamental principles, tattva. Those who were seekers of truth, tattva jidnyasu, would bring to him even the greatest of doubts, and in the course of conversation he would resolve them with ease. Many doubts were dispelled merely by his gentle and serene countenance. The doubts of great sages too would subside simply upon beholding him. He did not so much resolve doubts as he himself was the very embodiment of resolution. Should I continue?
Yeah, unless there's anybody else. This is just a story we are reading. So I mean, I don't know if you've read these stories in the past, the snake story, and that's how what got his name Mahavir, because he was not afraid of anything. And then the elephant story where he took control of the elephant. Then again, he enjoyed solitude from beginning. And so that is one thing, something to think about. Loneliness is different than solitude.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
people are lonely, but people cannot enjoy solitude.
Well, one thing that comes through in the story is that it is just by his very presence that it is having effect on people. So even when we talk that after Keval Gnan, when he was preaching sermons, it was through the Divya Dhvani. So not like any kind of speech, but the emanation, the vibration emanating from Bhagwan Mahavir. So it's saying even from as he was a child, that very presence of him, that energy that was emanating from him was really the key, right? As opposed to what he said or did.
No, not during that time. No.
But
So
it
when
seems
the
to it seems
child and youth, he, yes, of course, they all have special abilities, but no, not just his presence. Basically, he actually had the wit also to solve problems, and uh, he came with this knowledge which would clear questions of very big sages and things like that.
Yeah, but at the end here, it's saying that he did not so much resolve doubts as he himself was the very embodiment of resolution. And many doubts were dispelled merely by his gentle and serene countenance, right? So even just his own presence was enough to answer people's questions. He did answer questions also, but it was not even necessary.
When you say he himself was a solution, is like his character was such. You know how sometimes we tell that be an example for your child, don't preach the child. So one is you solve problems for your children. The other is you live a life which your children should follow. So you're an example for your children. And that's what that means, is that he was himself.
But when he was born, he was not a Tirthankar at a young age, right?
No, he was not.
Right.
But
So he can't
Tirthankars
be.
are born Samyak Drashti.
But it
So
was
he-
preordained. It was preordained he was going to be a Tirthankar.
Yes, because he had the Nam Karma of Tirthankar. Yes.
And I know we still have to, we will touch on this. I mean, we'll study it in detail, Karma, about the Pariyaya and all that. But I have read in the fact that Bhagwan, I mean, this Tirthankar Nama Karma was determined in the previous era. So even before Bhagwan Rishabdev, in the previous era of Tirthankars, even
No,
at
no,
that
no, 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 no.
No?
Tirthankar Nam Karma, he gets the Nam Karma only 2 births prior.
Oh, I see. Okay. But there was something about his birth trajectory being determined like eons ago, right? Bhagwan
So,
Mahavir.
so that's the whole thing. I know this is a very difficult concept to accept, but the fact that Tirthankars can tell you all the future happenings, that means they're predestined. Otherwise, how can they tell? You understand? So this whole universe, this whole thing is like a pre-recorded movie that's going on, and we are living wherever that projection is, wherever that light is falling. So the thing is, when you learn about it prematurely, then there is just too many questions. But the point is, let's say we are watching a pre-recorded game. We don't know it's a pre-recorded. Do you still enjoy it the same as if it was coming live?
Yeah, even though the outcome is already determined, but you still enjoy it.
Somebody knows the outcome. We don't know. And we don't find out if we want to watch a pre-recorded game, because we want to enjoy it to the fullest.
Well, sometimes you even know the outcome and you still enjoy it. Like sometimes, like for example, we can watch a movie we've watched before and we still enjoy it,
Right. So
even
that's
though we know what's going to happen.
different kind of enjoyment. But so if you were watching a suspense movie and you already have seen it before, then you know the end. So it's a different kind of then enjoyment, right? So in this case, it's like that. It's like a pre-recorded movie. We don't know the future and the results. So we still go through life as if obviously it's happening. Yet it's important to know and believe in the concept, which helps us not be very disturbed no matter what happens, because that was supposed to happen. And that's the best way to use that concept. Not to use it to be lazy, or not to use it to be, well, I couldn't do this because I was predestined. Yes, it was predestined, but you didn't know. So you were supposed to try your best.
But use it to accept what does happen.
So, whereas if used correctly, then it can make you stress-free. Where when you're running after something, so you go up to a certain point, and then if it's going to cause violence, if it's going to cause hurt to somebody, then you stop. Okay, I only go this far. The result is already determined, it's destined. So then I accept whatever comes. So that's how you use this Krambat Paryaya.
But if you can destroy some of the karmas or stop the influx, then your trajectory will change, right? How is that?
It will, but
But how
Bhagavan, that you will do the Purusharth to destroy the karmas and to this and this and this and that. So Krambat doesn't apply to part of the things and not to the whole. Krambat applies to every little thought, every little action, every little everything. So Bhagwan was able to see that it will come to your mind that I need to destroy these karmas, or I need to control my anger, or I need whatever. All that is part of Krambata. The problem people have a problem with Krambata is because they don't realize it's 100% of everything is Krambat, not just part of it. When you think the result is Krambat, but the process is not. No, that's not the way it is. Process is also Krambat.
No, that I get, but doesn't some things change over time? Like if one person does more Purusharth and the other one doesn't?
All that is true, but all that is seen by Kevalis.
So whether you're going to do Purusharth or not also is predetermined.
Yes. And the fact that you're going to think, should I do Purusharth or not, because it's Krambad, is also seen by the Kevalis.
The fact that we are discussing right now is also in the Quran.
So Prabhat, you already knew that I was going to ask this question. So you already knew that.
Not new, but it was in the Quran. You might not be knowing about it.
I mean, this is the ultimate discussion of fate versus free will, right? I mean, this is like the oldest philosophical question there is in all religions.
Don't know the Krambad, only Kevalis know. So it is still free will. It's your will to decide when there is an uday of karma, you're getting anger. Are you going to be an angry man or are you going to be the observer? That is totally up to your free will.
But that's what I mean. If one person becomes angry, then he quantifies more karma. And one person just becomes an observer, then he's doing less. So wouldn't his trajectory change?
That he has decided that. What do you mean? Why does it change?
No, it will change, right?
Well, no,
If he
because
becomes more of an observer,
to person A versus person B,
right?
it all Bhagwan's Gyan. To that person, yes, the trajectory changed. But in Bhagwan's, no, it didn't. Okay, for example, somebody dies in an accident, sudden death, unexpected death. But in Bhagwan's view, no, he knew it was going to happen exactly like this. You see the difference?
No, but what Viraj's question is that, say, for example, somebody get hit by somebody else, let's say. So if he is going to hit that person back, or he's just going to stay quiet and just not react. So is that like he has two options? That person has two options, either to react and hit or not react and stay quiet. Now, if that's already predetermined, that okay, he's going to react, so that's the question.
It is.
Huh?
That person is deciding whether he's going to be able to control himself or react.
So if Kevli was sitting there, let's say,
was sitting there, he may be able to tell the answer if asked.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, for example, there's a story in Krishna's time that Dwarka Nagri, where the Krishna's palace is going to be burnt by this sage's Nimit.
Right.
Okay, so now the sage decides, and he was a good sage. He decides, if it's my Nimit, I'm going to go away for 12 years. Till that time passes when this Nagri is supposed to be burnt. Now the Kevli had already projected that because they can see everything, right? So now this person is trying to go against what Kevli said. So what happened is he went and came back after that date when the city was supposed to burn. But a mistake happened. That year had a Adhik Mas. So actually that date had not come. There was still a month left. So now this guy came. He was not the angry kind of person, but some youth, somebody teased him. And then he went and drank from a river where alcohol had been poured. So now he's intoxicated. So in that toxification, that sage got angry on these people and burnt the Dwarka Nagari. So what a remote chance it was that would happen. But that was supposed to happen. The Kevli had already given the future. So it's not like the Kevli forced his mind to be angry and do this action. No. Kevli could only see the events that will come about in the future.
No, but the question.
Problem, yeah, the problem becomes, so is that person's Purusharth deciding to do something and not do something, or that also is not a free will then?
Remember, he was doing all the Purusharth to not get angry, not burn the city. But
But
still,
like she's no, like Deepali is saying, if it was an accident, whether
yeah,
to decide to react or be quiet, that we have a choice. At least what we know from
exactly.
now.
Yes, we have a choice. So
Okay,
did
so one person does Purshat and the other person doesn't do Purshat. But so where is the free will come in?
No,
it is
so let,
of that person. It's just that it's visible to the Kevli, whether he will do the Purusharth or not do the Purusharth.
But
So
that means that there was no free will then.
There is free will still.
no,
Just because somebody knows it doesn't make it not free will.
yeah, so Viraj, Kevali knows it, but we don't know it, right? So if we respond, let's say with an anger, then that was already written in our karma birth, right? In the steps, it was written that we will be doing that. If you give a thought and you don't become angry, that was also written in your steps, right? Saying that you will not become angry. So you becoming angry or not angry for you is the decision that you made. But according right to the Krambat Kariyai, no decision was made. It was already written, right, that you will become angry or you will not become angry.
But you still had the free will to choose.
Correct.
If it is in the Kramvad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just like what do you think the player should do? Or forget about all this, any practice. We'll just go play because it's Krambad, whether we're going to win or lose. You think that would serve any purpose? You think anybody will be able to do that?
That's
No,
not how you interpret this.
all that I get, all that I get. I just don't get where one person does Purshat and one doesn't. But you're saying so that is also predetermined. So
Yeah,
Sorry, I just, Auntie, I have one that question same. So the example I was giving previously, I understand in bigger things maybe that the Dwarka was going to get burnt or not. There was a predetermined thing, but we're talking about small decisions.
Like moving
somebody,
your hand here
yeah,
or
like
here.
exactly moving your hand here or here. So if Kavli was, so I'm putting my hand here, and I'm going to say, okay, tell me guys if I'm going to move here or there. But we have a Kavli, let's say, sitting here, and he's going to say, Dipali is going to move here. So now
Correct.
in this case, it's already predetermined. But but now you're saying if it's already predetermined, if I'm going to only move this way and not move this way, then where do I have the free will? I don't have free will.
Okay, so let's say the Kavli told you that this is the way it's going to move, right?
Right.
Now you are trying to determine your free will. You're trying to say, no, I'm going to move it this way.
Right.
Somehow, automatically in your mind will come, let me move it this way. And Kavli is not making you do it, mind you. He is just observing this is what is going to come to your mind, and this is the action that's going to happen.
The action is beyond even the cable. The cable is only seeing what is happening.
The mind is still done by you.
Kevali would know. Kevali would know that you are about to move.
Not
No,
the do.
no, would know. Even the change of mind, everything.
Change of mind, everything.
Okay, so basically the Kavli can see all the fluctuations that are happening in my mind, that if I move it this way, then the glass is going to fall, and if I don't move, and so in order to save, I should just move it this way.
Correct.
So he knows that steps. He knows
processes that you will go through also. He
Right.
knew
So he
all the thought processes that this sage was going to have. He will go away out of towns to prevent burning of this town because
Well,
it's already established that it's going to happen by his nimit.
And
I have a basic question.
and also Kevali does not have any passions. He will not tell anybody.
yeah, Kevli doesn't not gonna
Exactly,
tell you.
exactly.
He's just
That's my
observing.
point. I mean, why would a camel even bother telling anybody anything?
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
somebody goes and asks, first of all, only when they're present, somebody can ask, or it will come in their Dvitvani, whatever. Only then you would know these truths or futures or whatever. So, I mean, these were questions asked. Somebody mind came, like, is there anybody sitting here who is going to become another Tirthankar? So
But
the
yeah,
came, that, okay,
exactly.
this guy is going to become the 24th Tirthankar.
So basically, you're saying the script is written. You may think I can move the hand this way, but the script is written, so you're always going to move it this way.
But the script is written. The script is written by your own karmas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the karmas that are binded
No,
to
no,
your soul is what is
yeah,
causing.
nobody's there to write and anything. So you are your own writer.
Yeah, there's no writer.
no, I understand, but not written, but it's determined. Say the script is determined by
By your own karma. And the
Wait.
Kevli is able to see it.
Yeah, but the thing is, what if you destroy the karmas? What if you,
Okay, so
you know,
he saw that you destroyed the karmas.
but he
You-
sees that you're going to
No,
destroy also is written.
No,
so-
even after destroying the karma, when Siddha, his bhavas are parinimak bhava, those are also predetermined. I mean, in Kramabadha, they are also Kramabadha is there.
Krambad, right? So basically, not believing in Krambad is like not believing in Siddhas.
Yeah. In Vastav Satya.
Right. But
That's why
the questions arise because we believe in part of the Krambad, like we really believe in that result, and we don't believe that the process is Krambad. So the fact that you will learn this process, think about eradicating your karmas, think about not reacting so you don't get more karmas, all that process is also coming in Kevali's Gyan.
I'll just remind everybody that again, this is the fundamental question in all of philosophy and all of religion. So we're not going to solve it in the next 10 minutes here. But I just want to say, like, this is not something that just Jains, like this is in every religion, every philosophy, this question of fate versus free will. So it does not have a resolution until you do dhyan on it.
It very nicely. It is definitely free will. Okay, of reacting is your free will.
But it is to some extent, it always, I mean, it helps because when we sit and meditate and some odd thought comes, you would say that, okay, that comes and goes. I mean, first of all, abhavas,
And
that's
that's
the,
okay
yeah,
from Aya to Aya. Fine,
yeah,
no big deal.
yeah.
It doesn't
And
make sense.
yeah. And
Otherwise,
also it's not going to continue. So we studied about abhavas, correct? Something is not going to continue. It's
what it teaches, okay, right? When you go to Vipassana meditation, disturbing thought came and went.
yeah.
They teach you not to react. You just
Yeah.
observe. Okay, this thought came, went. That's it.
And there is a time comes where even when I cannot control. I said it's not in my control. Okay, let me just accept it. So it's a one way to just also get relief.
And that is what would give you patience.
Yeah.
Like, Adinath Bhagwan, it took him 1,000 years to become Kevali. Mahavir Bhagwan only 30 years after taking Diksha or whatever. Yeah, 12 years rather, sorry. It's different for different people. So then, so that doesn't mean that उन्होंने उनका क्यों नहीं जल्दी देखा? No, there is no such thing. Okay, let's continue and see if we can finish the story today at least.
Do you want me to continue reading or somebody else?
No, you continue right now.
So one day he was sitting in solitude on the fourth story of the palace, absorbed in deep thought. His childhood companions came to meet him and asked Mother Trishala, "Where is Vardhaman?" Engaged in household duties, she casually replied, "Upstairs." All the boys ran upwards and, panting, reached the seventh story, but did not find Vardhaman there. When they asked King Siddhartha, who was absorbed in study, about Vardhaman, he, without raising his head, simply said, "Downstairs." Hearing these contradictory answers from mother and father, the boys were thrown into confusion. At last they began to search floor by floor, and on the fourth story they found Vardhaman sitting, absorbed in thought. All of his companions reproachfully exclaimed, "Here you are, sitting hidden in the posture of the philosophers, while we have searched through all 7 stories." "Why did you not ask mother?" Vardhaman asked simply. The companions replied, "It was by asking that all the confusion arose. Mother said upstairs, and father said downstairs. Where should we search? Who is speaking the truth?" Vardhaman said, "Both are speaking the truth. Since I am on the 4th story, I am above from mother's standpoint and below from father's standpoint, because mother is on the 1st story and father is on the 7th. Do you not understand even this much? The condition of above and below is relative. Without a standpoint, the very question of above and below does not arise. Even when independent of a particular condition, the statement about an object remains relative. In this way, child Vardhaman would explain profound principles to his playmates in the simplest manner. The world wanted to ensnare him in its colorful allure, but the great Mahavir was immersed in the colors of the self-soul, untouched by the world's hues. Youth cast its enticing lures upon him, but even those could not ensnare him. The affection of his parents sought to hold him back, yet even the tears of his mother could not sway him. Impressed by his handsome form and extraordinary strength, many kings came forward with proposals to marry their daughters, daughters whose beauty put even the celestial nymphs, Apsaras, to shame. Yet Mahavir's heart did not incline toward those princesses. His parents, too, urged him to repeatedly to marry, but he had already resolved upon the restraint of the senses, Indriya Nigraha. From all sides, efforts were made to bind him within the ties of household life, but he had taken refuge in the unbound nature of the soul and was determined to free himself from every bondage of the world. For one who has already broken the fetters of attachment, Moha Bandhana, who indeed can bind him? As a result, at the age of 30, in the prime of youth, on the 10th day of the dark half of the month of Margashirsha, he renounced his home and household. Naked as a sky-clad Digambara, he entered the lonely forest and immersed himself in self-discipline. On the auspicious occasion of his initiation, auspicious event, Tapakalyanak, the celestial beings of the higher worlds, Lokantik Dev, descended and reverentially praised his noble act with deep devotion. Monk Vardhaman observed silence. He spoke to no one. He remained continuously absorbed in self-contemplation, Atma Chintan. He went beyond the practice of bathing and brushing his teeth. Maintaining equanimity towards both enemy and friend, Monk Mahavir dwelt in mountain caves. He was not disturbed in the least by the intense force of cold, heat, rains, or other seasons. His gentle countenance, natural simplicity, life imbued with non-violence, ahimsa, and serene disposition often made the wild beasts abandon their instinctive enmity and adopt an attitude of harmony. Serpents and mongooses, cows and lions would drink water together at the same bank. Wherever he stayed, the environment naturally turned tranquil. Sometimes, if the thought of food arose, he would take upon himself many unusual vows, pratidnya, and then proceed toward the nearby town in search of alms. If any lay devotee, Shravak, offered pure wholesome food with ninefold reverence, Navadha Bhakti, in accordance with his vows, he would, with utmost care, standing and in a spirit of harmlessness, Niriha Bhava, partake of the food and quickly return to the forest. On one occasion, the alms of Muni Mahavir were received from the hand of the pious lady, Sati Chandanbala, who herself was in a state of extreme destitution. In this way, 12 years passed while he practiced severe austerities, both internally and externally. At the age of 42, on the 10th day of the bright half of the month of Vaishak Shukla Dashami, in a state of deep self-absorption, he eradicated even the subtle attachment, raga, present within, and attained the state of complete detachment, vitaraga. Upon attaining perfect detachment, upon attaining, where am I?
Perfect detachment.
Perfect detachment.
Yeah, upon attaining perfect detachment, he simultaneously attained perfect knowledge, Keval Dhyan. I'm just going to silence my phone. He attained Keval Dhyan. Having utterly conquered the enemies in the form of delusion, attachment, and aversion, Moha, Raga, Dvesha, he became the true Mahavir. Being fully detached and omniscient, he was called Bhagavan. At that very moment, through the great rise of meritorious karma, Mahapunyodaya, he attained the status of a Tirthankar and became renowned as Tirthankar Bhagavan Mahavir. His preaching, Upadesh, commenced on the first day of the dark half of the month of Shravan, Shravan Krishna Pratipada. For For this reason, throughout India, the festival of Veera Shashan Jayanti is celebrated on this day. For his teaching of the truth, Tattvapadesh, by the command of Indra, Kuber constructed the divine assembly hall called the Samosaran. The religious congregation, Dharma Sabha with Tirthankar, is known as Samosaran. In this sacred assembly, every living being had the right to enter. There is no distinction of high or low. One whose foundation is nonviolence, ahimsa, who has touched the essence of reality, vastu tattva, in thought, and who is internalized within, even if born in a lowly family of outcasts, Chandal, is regarded as greater than not only men, but even gods. It has also been said, Samyak darshan sampanam api matanga dehajam deva devam vidur bhasma gudhan garantar ojasam. Even one born in the body of an elephant trainer, Matanga, if endowed with right faith, Samyak Darshan, is known by the gods as divine being, like hidden fire within ashes. Does somebody else want to read? Or
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I don't know. Raj, do you want to continue?
Yeah, sure. In his religious assembly, Dharma Sabha, kings and beggars, rich and poor, fair and dark, all human beings would sit together to listen to the discourse. Indeed, in addition to humans and gods, Dev, there was also a provision for animals to be seated, and many creatures too would peacefully listen to the teaching. The spirit of universal equality, Sarva Prani Sambhav, that was realized in Mahavir's religious assembly was rarely found elsewhere. In the fourfold community, Chaturvedya Sangha, established by him along with the order of monks, Muni Sangh, in the order of laymen, Shravak Sangh, there were also the order of nuns, Arikya Sangh, and the order of laywomen, Shravika Sangh. Many opposing scholars too were influenced by his teachings and abandoned their own traditions and became his disciples. Among the foremost was the eminent scholar Indrabhuti Gautam, who later became his chief disciple. He was first Gandhar chief disciple and came to be renowned by the name of Gautam Swami. The account of how he became a disciple of Lord Mahavir is found as follows. Indrabhuti Gautam was a learned scholar well versed in the Vedas and Vedagnas and had 500 disciples under him. When Indra realized that only Indrabhuti Gautama was worthy of becoming the chief disciple of the Lord, being fully capable of grasping the divine teachings, Divyadani of Bhagwan, he went to his hermitage in the guise of an aged Brahmana. In Gautam's presence, Indra recited a verse, declaring himself to be a disciple of Mahavir, and expressed his eagerness to understand its meaning. The verse was as follows. Dinesh, you want to read that part?
I'll read it. Traikaryam Chatravya Shatakam Navapada Sahitam Shiva Shatka Yaleshaha Panchanye Chastikaya Vrata Samiti Gati Gyan Charitra Bheda Ityetannukshmulam Tribhavana Mahitaihi Proktar Marhadabhirishai Pratyeti Shraddhagati Sparshati Chamatiman Yah Savai Shuddha Drashti. So this is what came in the Vani, and now he's wondering what is all this. Go ahead, read the English part now.
Yeah, meaning the six substances, Dravyastaka, considered in relation to the three times, Trikalya, is along the 9 categories, Naupad, the 6 kinds of living beings, Jeev Satka, the bodily forms, Kyai, the psychic coloration, Lesha, and further the 5 Astika, eternal existence. The vows, Vrat, restraints, Samiti, modes of movement, gati, types of knowledge, gnan, and forms of conduct, charitra, all these together constitute the root of liberation, mokshamul, proclaimed by the revered Arhats, the Lord of the three worlds. He who comprehends this, believes in it, and touches it with intellect, such a person indeed possesses pure vision, Shuddha Drishti. Deep in thought, Indrabhuti began pondering, what are these six substances, Satka Dravya, 9 categories, Navapad, and 5 eternal existence, Panchakayastika. Suppressing his ignorance regarding these matters, he said to Indra, on this subject I shall discuss only with your Guru. Let us go. Where is he? I will approach him directly. The time had come for Indrabhuti to receive the true Dharma, Saddha Dharma Prapti, and simultaneously the moment of comprehending the Lord's divine sound, Divyadhani, had also arrived. As he approached the Samvatsarana, the rigidity of his thoughts gave way to the softness. Seeing the pillar of humility, Manastambha, his pride dissolved and he received initiation, Diksha, from Lord Mahavir. His capability and greatness of Lord Mahavir led to his being appointed the first Gandhar, chief disciple. In addition, there were 10 other Gandhars, whose names are Agnibhuti, Vayubhuti, Aryavta, Sudharma, Aryavta, Vyakta, Sudharma, Mandita, Mayuraputra,
Mauryaputra.
Mauryaputra, sorry, yeah.
Okay, so see the word Sudharma should have a line on top, which means you pronounce it as A. But Mandit is not Mandita because there's no line above the A.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Akampit, Aklar Bharata,
Achal Bhrata,
Achal Bhrata, Mitray,
Metarya,
Mitarya, Prabhasha,
Prabha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Among the lay disciples, Shravak Shishya, the foremost was Magda Emperor, Maharaja Shrenik, Vimsara. For 30 continuous years, he traveled throughout India, spreading his teachings. His discourses were such that everyone understood them in their own language. His teachings, called the divine sound, Divyadhani. Through his divine speech, Divyadhani, he proclaimed the complete independence of all substances, including the living beings, Jiv. His assertion was that every soul, Jiv, is independent. None is dependent on other. The path of attaining full independence, Swalamban, lies in self-reliance, focusing the vision, Drishti, on the pure self, Suddha Nijatma, distinct from physical appearance, attachment, and differentiation, constitutes self-reliance. Independence can only be attained by one's own effort. Infinite bliss and freedom are neither objects that can be begged for, nor can they be obtained through power of others. Yeah, I can let
Take
somebody
second.
else.
Amitji, can you highlight this just last sentence that he just read? I think they did not, in Hindi it says Rang Rag or Bhed, and I don't think they translated this sentence well in English.
Independence can only be attained by own effort, infinite bliss, freedom, and neither objects to beg for.
The sentence before that.
Oh, the before that. Focusing the vision, right?
No, it is about independence. It is self-dependent, self-reliance, something like that should be.
Right. It's the path of attaining full independence. Swalamba lies in self-reliance. That's all it says. Then it's focusing.
Yeah, so it doesn't. It misses this Rang Rag or Bhed. Somehow that did not get covered in the English translation, and it should be. So would you please take a picture of that, Amitji?
Yeah, yeah.
That Hindi sentence and then the English, and highlight that that sentence needs to be redone.
Yeah, I'll find out in the Hindi text. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question too? इसमें लिखा है Maharaja Shrenik and then it said Bimbisar. Bimbisar, matlab, that's
That was his another name.
But isn't that like? But Bimbisar is a historical figure. Like, is he's Chandragupta Maurya ke vansh mein ke? Na wo Bimbisar?
The two people and can have the same name in different times.
Okay, I'm just wondering if it's the same, like the
No,
historical
it's not the
Bimbisar.
same. That's a different Bimbisar.
Okay.
And it could also be a title. I wonder does Bimbisar mean like the older son or something like that? I don't know. Or was that just a name?
I think Chandragupta Maurya's son was Bimbisar, and that was Ashoka's father, I think. But I'm not
I'm
sure.
just wondering if it's a title for the older son, and maybe that's
हो सकता है.
is meant here also. Not sure, but could be. Okay. Yeah, if you want to help you, if you don't have the Hindi book in front of you, Amit, I'll take a picture and send it to you.
Okay, yeah.
Highlighted the lines, so okay. Okay, continues.
All the soul jivs are independent and distinct. They are not one, yet are certainly alike, equal. One is greater or less, none is greater or lesser. Therefore he said, recognize other soul jiv as similar to your own. All souls jiv are equal, yet not one. If one exerts effort, purushartha, in the right direction, every soul can become a supreme, Paramatma. Every being suffers due to its own mistakes, and by correcting those mistakes can also attain happiness. What Lord Mahavira spoke was not a new truth. What distinction came there be between new and old truths, Satya. What he spoke has always existed. It is eternal, Sanatan. He did not establish the truth, he revealed it. He did not find a new religion, dharma. Dharma is the nature, swabhav of substance, vastu. The nature of substance cannot be created. What kind of nature would it be if it could be created, if merely known? Free from ego and doership, kartrutva, hamkar, and the possessive sense of mind, mamkar. One who knows the self, swa, and non-self, par, completely remaining unaffected and realizes the whole at once. That is the Lord, Bhagwan. A Tirthankar Lord knows the essence of substance, Vastu Swarup, explains it but does not create it. He was a Tirthankar. He propagated the religion for Dharma Tirth. The teachings he gave has been called Sarvodaya Tirth by Acharya Samanthabhadra.
So see, this is the major difference between Jainism and any other religion. Most other religions will say Bhagwan is the doer, or sometimes he's the creator and all that. So versus Jain religion says there is no doer, there is no creator. Even the Bhagwan only told the truth. He did not create the truth. So that's a big difference. So okay, so the Sarvodaya Tirtha is Sarvantavat Tadguna Mukhya Kalpam Sarvant Shunyam Chamithot Napapeksham Sarvapada Mantakaram Nirantaram Sarvodayam Tirthamidam Tavaiva. Go ahead, read the meaning, or if you want to transfer it to somebody else.
Yeah, if somebody wants to read
I can
it.
take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Amitji.
Yeah. O Bhagwan Mahavir, your Sarvodaya Tirth encompasses all paths of righteousness. It addresses the primary and secondary, Mukhya and Gaun, distinctions without contradiction, unlike the teachings of other doctrines. which, being one-sided, are unable to fully expound the nature of reality. Your teaching, Tattvopadesh, has the power to eliminate all difficulties and guide all sentient beings across the ocean of samsara. Therefore, it is called the Sarvodaya Tirth. That which leads to the upliftment of all is Sarvodaya. The Sarvodaya Tirth that Tirthankar Mahavir established and the spiritual truth he presented to the world was free from any narrowness or limitation. The Atma Dharma is for all Atmas. To restrict righteousness only to humans is itself a form of narrowness. It is the dharma of all living beings. The term human religion does not indicate complete universality, as it confines the realm of righteousness, dharma, to human society alone. However, dharma is connected to the entire sentient world because all beings desire to live in happiness and peace. Tirthankar Bhagwan Mahavir clearly established the concept of the complete independent existence of every entity and emphasized that each entity is inherently self transforming. In its transformation, no external element plays a role. Not even the Supreme Father, Parmeshwar, God, is a creator or controller of its existence. This declaration of the independent existence of every living and non living particle was a significant aspect of Tirthankar Mahavir's teachings. The very idea of intervening in another's transformations or actions is deemed false, mithyatva, futile, and a cause of suffering. For considering someone else to be the doer of one's happiness or suffering, life, or death is ignorance. This is precisely what has been stated. Sarvam sadaiva niyatam bhavati swakya कर्मोदयान मरण जीवता दुख खास सौख्यम अज्ञानमेतादिह यतु परः परस्य कुर्यात् पुमान मरण जीवतु दुख खसौख्यम. If one assumes that another being is the cause of one's happiness, suffering, life, or death, then one's own good or bad actions would become meaningless. The question arises, if we engage in wrongful deeds, can another, no matter how powerful, bring us happiness? Similarly, if we perform righteous actions, can any individual, even God, Ishwar, bring us harm? If the answer is yes, then performing good actions and fearing bad ones would be pointless, as their consequences would not necessarily have to be experienced. However, if it is true that we must inevitably face the outcomes of our own good or bad actions, then the idea of external interference becomes irrelevant. This very idea was expressed by Acharya Amita Gati in the following manner. Karmanaha falabhoktavayam swayam kartavyataiva va anyasya yadi bhoktavyam nasti karmani vai phalam. Meaning
Where did you
one
get
must.
this one? Wait. This one is not in the Hindi
Yeah,
version.
yeah, it
It says
says, I was just about to skip that. The above verse is not present in hard copy but found in soft copy.
Oh, wow.
There is a line mentioned by Varshaji, I think. So the above verse is not present in hard copy but found in soft copy.
Okay, fine.
Meaning one must face the consequences of one's own actions. If another were to experience the results, then actions would hold no meaning at all. Swayam kartam karma yadatmana pura phalam datyam labhate shubha shubham परेण दातम यदि लभ्यते स्फुटम स्वयं कर्तम कर्म निरर्थकम तड़ा निचार चित्तम कर्म विहाय देहिनो na kopi kasyapi dadati kimchan vicharaya यन्नेवं मन्यमानसः परो ददातीति विमुच्य सेमुसिम्. At the age of 72, on the day of Deepavali, the last Tirthankar of this era, Bhagwan Mahavir, renounced his physical body and attained Nirvana. On that very day, his foremost disciple, Indrabhuti Gautama, achieved Keval Gyan, omniscient knowledge. According to Jain tradition, the grand festival of Deepavali is celebrated to commemorate both the nirvana of Bhagwan Mahavir and the attainment of Keval Gyan by his chief disciple Gautam. In this way, we see that the life of Bhagwan Mahavir is a story of the gradual development from Atma to Paramatma.
Okay, so that is the importance of reading the Bhagwan's story. And also the facts that, Bhagwan cannot do anything. So like, in a lot of the beliefs, they feel like भगवान से मांग लो, हम तकलीफ में हैं, भगवान बचा लेगा. So all that then kind of vanishes from your thoughts that no, Bhagwan is not the doer. So so then it's like gives you that ultimate independence of thoughts, as well as what it gives you is that, let's say something wrong or good is happening to you. Okay, so you are responsible. Something you cannot help because you did that in the past, whether it is past lives, past hours, past days, years, doesn't matter. So that has to come into fruition, because if it doesn't come into fruition, it's not going to come out of your soul. So let it happen, be the observer, and that's the best thing to do for the previous done karmas. So trying to change what is going to come into fruition is not the ideal thing. But as you become the observer and not the doer, your karmic transformation automatically happens, which is in a positive way, which we will learn when we study about details of karmas. So, okay, so if there are any questions, you can reread the story and come back with questions in the next class. And then we'll do the Devagam Stotra next class. Meanwhile, I think I asked this last class also, I want everybody to post what assignments you are done with. You should be done with the Lakshan summary and Tattva Gyan 1 and Ahimsa summary, and you should be working on LCPS. If you want, at the beginning of next class, we can quickly read over those questions. So if you stay on top of things, it won't accumulate, end of December, like before exams and all. So just
Do we have that Dev Stuti? Because Mera isme the last one is the Bhagwan Mahavir, chapter 8. I don't have the.
Oh, haven't done that.
You know what? I just posted she realized that she had not put the last chapter. So the latest one that I put in the group should have it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you had just posted that. Okay.
Yes.
When are going to be the exams? Approximate, any idea?
It's usually over 3 weeks span. Usually it should be first, second, and third week of January. Sometimes it can deviate if there are issues, technical issues or anything like that.
Okay.
So yeah, usually with this course, January and July are exam months.
Okay.
But a lot of times, yeah, we don't stop classes because class is only occupying 2 hours, and instead of too much discontinuity, we may give a week or 2 break like we did last time, and then we continue. So make sure you all have ordered books for the next semester, or I would advise that get them for all 5 semesters, so that way you're not, sometimes they have delays and all that. So if you don't have the book form or anything you need, ask Amit ji, or I can forward it in the group, whatever. Okay. All right. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप। सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप। सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप। निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है। इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है। वंदना शत